Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm here with Angie. You guys have met Angie before on a previous video I did with her. We did the hypopressive flow, and that was more advanced. So we're here today to show you more of a simpler and one that you can do while you're postpartum, which I am. I'm about 6 weeks postpartum, so it's kind of like perfect for that stage. And yeah, I've been doing this for quite some time and I've seen some huge benefits, so I want to share with you guys. And yeah, Angie's gonna tell you a little bit more about it because she's the professional.
Awesome. Yeah, so this hypopressive training flow that I'm going to do with Alana today can be done immediately postpartum. So right after you have your baby, you can start the hypopressive training with the apnea. It's extremely beneficial after you have a baby because it closes your abdominal muscles. It helps to stabilize your spine since you're in a very vulnerable stage carrying a heavy baby. And also it helps to lift your pelvic organ. So it will help your uterus shrink back down to her normal size and stay in an optimal position in your pelvis. This breath training also really helps to stabilize and strengthen your core muscles in an involuntary reflexive way. So it recruits 100% of your core muscles. And it's gentle. It's perfect for postpartum.
Also, Angie's going to be coming out with a course, so this is going to be a little taste of what's going to be on her course, and I would highly recommend checking that out because it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So my course is called the Core Recovery Method, and I'm planning to launch it in a couple months, so hopefully around December. And it'll be a variety of different techniques to really optimize your core function. And a huge part of this course is going to be these hypopressive breathing flows. And there'll be several different levels that you can choose from and different options for time commitment as far as what you can commit to doing this type of training. So, yeah.
We'll link that all down in the description below. Let's get into it.
All right.
Cool.
All right, so I just want to start by showing you the basic hypopressive breathing. So how you inhale, exhale, and how you go into apnea. So the inhales are going to be in through your nose, and you're going to fill your rib cage from the bottom to the top. So we'll just take a few breaths here going through the inhales. So it's with sealed lips. You'll inhale through your nose, expand your ribs from the bottom to the top. Excellent. And one more time, watch how wide the rib cage gets. So you'll inhale to the bottom, then the middle, then the upper ribs. Excellent. Okay, so now we'll add in the exhale. So you'll inhale just like that, expanding the ribs nice and wide. And then as you exhale, you're going to exhale out your mouth like you're fogging a mirror, and you'll keep your rib cage relatively open on that exhale. So expanding the ribs on the inhale, and then as you exhale, it's out your mouth like you're fogging a mirror, keeping the rib cage relatively open. Good, and one more exhale here. So the last part of the exhale is elongation through the crown of the head. So you're growing and you're keeping your waist and your neck long on your exhale. And then we'll go into apnea here. So you expand the ribs on the inhale. You exhale and lengthen your spine. And then when your lungs are empty, you'll close mouth, nose, throat, hold your breath, and open your ribs again. Exactly. So this is apnea. We have the hollowing to the belly, and we have the suction being created in the neck. Great. And then when you come out of apnea, it'll be on an inhale. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to show you a little bit more about apnea. So you'll inhale into your rib cage, filling the lower, then the middle, then the upper ribs. And then as you exhale, you're going to elongate your spine and keep your rib cage relatively inflated. And when your lungs are empty, you'll close mouth, nose, throat, and you'll hold your breath, and then you'll open your ribs again. So this is apnea. So you're really trying to expand the rib cage as wide as you can and lengthen through the crown of the head during apnea. You know you're doing it right if you get a hollowing in the belly and if you get these indentations happening in the neck. That's a true suction. Excellent. We'll do that one more time. So when your lungs are empty, come into apnea again. Excellent. Good. So during apnea, during this rib cage expansion is when the pelvic organs are being lifted up. So uterus is lifting up and the diaphragm is expanding and getting a nice stretch. And then when you exhale and elongate through your spine, that's when the abdominal muscles really get the opportunity to close. Great.
Cool.
All right, so inhaling, expanding the ribs, exhale, grow through the crown of the head. And when your lungs are empty, you'll come into apnea. So during apnea, you're not voluntarily sucking in your abs. It's just the opening of the rib cage and the growing through the crown of the head, the spinal elongation, that's creating this hollowing to the belly. It's all involuntary, so you're not sucking in your tummy. All right, so starting our flow. So you're gonna start in standing with your feet hip-width distance apart. Your knees are slightly bent. And then you're gonna lengthen your waist. So you're gonna lift your rib cage as far away from your pelvis as you can. And then you'll expand your shoulder blades on your back. So you're gonna separate your shoulder blades apart. And you'll align your ears over your shoulders. And you'll lift your chin just slightly. Perfect. So you have a neutral neck. So ears are aligned over shoulders and shoulders are over hips with a slight knee bend. All right, and your hands are just straight down at your sides to begin. So here we go. So fingertips pointing down, elbows are slightly bent. All right, so we'll take our first breath here. So inhale through the nose, expanding the ribs nice and wide, and then exhale out your mouth and lengthen through the crown of the head. We're gonna take 3 decompression breaths to start. Here's your second breath. Inhale, expand the ribs, and then exhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Perfect. And then third breath here, inhaling, expanding the ribs nice and wide, and then exhale, lengthening the spine, and you'll come to your first apnea here. Excellent, so lungs are empty, apnea. So expanding the ribs as wide as you can and growing through the crown of the head simultaneously. After this one, we're gonna take 2 breaths. So whenever you need to, you'll inhale and then exhale, reach through your fingertips as you grow through the crown of the head. That's your first breath. Second breath, expanding the ribs wide on the inhale, and then as you exhale, you'll grow through the crown of the head. And then once your lungs are empty, you'll come to apnea again. So second apnea in this posture, we're gonna do 3. Keep growing through the crown of the head, bringing the base of the skull back and up and lengthening through your waist. Okay, now just 1 breath and return to apnea. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the spine during this exhale and apnea. Final apnea in this posture. After this, you'll get 3 breaths again. Very good. So stay here for your inhale. As you exhale, you'll turn your fingertips in and you'll press your palms energetically down and your elbows wide. That was your first breath. Here's the second, expanding the ribs on the inhale. And then as you exhale, press your head back and up and keep your elbows pressing wide and palms down. And here's your third breath. Open ribs on the inhale. And then as you exhale, grow through the crown of the head. Once your lungs are empty, coming to your first apnea in this posture. Beautiful. So expanding the rib cage wide, growing through the crown of the head, pressing the palms down and the elbows out. Holding here. You get 2 breaths now after this one. So exhale, growing through the crown of the head. There's your first breath. Second breath, expanding the ribs wide. And then as you exhale, you're fogging that mirror, growing. And you'll come to your second apnea in this position. Great, apnea. Beautiful. So just hollowing the belly, expanding the ribs, growing through the crown of the head. Your waist is as long as you can get it. Excellent. So 1 breath now, and then return to apnea. Empty the lungs. and come back to apnea. Beautiful. Final apnea in this position, simultaneously expanding the ribs and growing through the crown of the head. Beautiful. All right, you'll stay here for your inhale, then you'll exhale and transition to the hinge position. So you're just gonna place your hands on your thighs and you'll look down at the ground. Here's the second breath. As you exhale, really lengthen the waist by gently pressing your palms into your thighs and growing through the crown of the head. And here's the third breath, expanding ribs wide, and then as you exhale, lengthen spine, grow through the crown of the head, and come to your first apnea in this hinge position. Beautiful. Good. So nice hollowing of the belly, gently pressing the palms into the thighs, like 5% of your maximal ability. Good. Now we get 2 breaths. There's your first one. Grow through the crown of the head on the exhale. Bring your head back towards the ceiling. Good. Perfect. Here's your second breath. And then grow on your exhale. And then coming to your second apnea in this position. Good, really expanding the ribs, lengthening the spine, growing through the crown of the head. 1 breath now, and then return to apnea. Good. And final apnea in this position. Good, so just holding, lengthening the neck, lengthening the waist, feeling the decompression happening in the spine, opening the shoulder blades. Good, here's the first breath. As you exhale, transition to all 4s. Good, and then here's the second breath. So you're expanding the ribs nice and wide, and then as you exhale, you're lengthening through the crown of the head. Good, so in this position, your fingertips are pointing in and your elbows are bent. Here's the third breath. This one will bring you to apnea. Exhale, grow through the crown of the head. Good. And then coming to your first apnea in this position. Beautiful. So really hollowing the belly, lengthening the spine. Very good. First breath, we're gonna get 2. Awesome. And second breath, expanding the ribs really wide. Good. As you exhale, put a little bit more weight through your hands and lengthen through the crown of the head. And then come to apnea. Here's our second apnea on all 4s. Good, hollowing the belly, expanding the ribs, and lengthening through the crown of the head all at the same time, making sure your shoulder blades are staying separated. So 1 breath. There's the first breath. And then return to apnea here. Excellent. Final apnea. A little bit more weight in the hands, lengthen the neck, and open the shoulder blades. Press the ground away energetically. Beautiful, keeping the elbows bent. Very nice, so stay on your inhale, and then as you exhale, cross your feet and sit back so that you're seated with crossed legs. Good. Here's the second breath, and place the hands on the front of your knees. Good, and then you'll flex your ankles forward. Good. And here's the third breath, expanding the ribs nice and wide. As you exhale, lengthen, grow through the crown of the head, and then coming to your first apnea here. Beautiful. So you're gently pulling on your knees. That's gonna help you lengthen your waist, and you're keeping your elbows bent and kind of wide like that. Good. First breath, exhale, grow through the crown of the head. We're gonna get 2 breaths now. Here's your second breath, expanding the ribs nice and wide. And then as you exhale, pull on your knees to lengthen your waist, grow through the crown of the head, and then come back to apnea. Beautiful apnea. So in apnea, you're gently pulling on the knees and you're keeping a neutral spine. So there's a slight curve in the lower back. Okay, 1 breath here and then return to apnea. Good, bring your head back and up. And then final apnea on this side. Good, holding, expanding the ribs and growing through the crown of the head. Excellent. So you'll stay here for your inhale. As you exhale, switch your feet. Good, so same posture, just the other side. Second breath, expanding the ribs. As you exhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Good, and third breath, open ribs wide. Keep ribs open, keep shoulder blades separated, keep growing through the crown of the head, and coming to your first apnea on this side. Good. Beautiful. So just gently hollowing your belly, pulling on your knees to lengthen your waist, and bending your elbows out to the side, pressing your head up and back. Good. You'll get 2 breaths after this one. Here's your first breath. Lengthen spine on your exhale. And here's your second breath. Really fill up the back of the heart. And then as you exhale, keep your pelvis and your rib cage really far apart, and then come to apnea here. Beautiful. Good. So hollowing the belly, lengthening through the crown of the head. You have a nice neutral spine here. You'll get 1 breath after this apnea. Good. And coming to your final apnea here. Keep the waist long as you exhale. And apnea. Beautiful. Simultaneously opening the ribs and growing through the crown of the head. You'll stay in this position for your inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to just lie on your back. So you'll kind of scooch forward on your yoga mat and just come onto your back gently, 1 elbow at a time. Perfect. And if you need to scooch forward a little more, go ahead. And then we'll take our second breath here. So inhale, expand the ribs wide. Good. As you exhale, you're just going to gently pull your heels towards your bottom as you grow through the crown of the head. Your fingertips are pointing down here. And then here's the second breath. Exhale, grow. Good. And then third breath, expanding the ribs nice and wide on the inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to gently pull your heels towards your bottom to activate your hamstrings. And then you'll come to apnea. Good. So first apnea in this position, you're just reaching your fingertips down, growing through the crown of the head, and pulling your heels towards your bottom all at the same time. Now we get 2 breaths. First breath there. Exhale, lengthen. Very good. Second breath, expanding the ribs. And then exhale, pull your heels towards your bottom. Keep your waist really, really long. Coming to your second apnea here. Beautiful. So hollowing the belly, lengthening through the crown of the head. Good. 1 breath now, and then back to apnea. So pull the heels, grow through the crown of the head. Good. Final apnea in this position. Expanding the ribs, lengthening through the crown of the head. So you'll stay with your fingers pointing down for your inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your hands over your chest and fingertips are going to point in. Good. Here's the second breath. Inhale, expand ribs. We're going to do 3 breaths. Exhale, pull your heels towards your bottom and grow through the crown of the head. And then third breath, expand the ribs wide. You're gently pressing your palms up to the ceiling and elbows wide. And then you'll come to apnea. Beautiful apnea. So in apnea, energetically pressing your elbows wide, your palms to the ceiling, expanding your ribs and growing. Here's our first breath, and then lengthen your spine on your exhale. Second breath, filling ribs from the bottom, then the middle, then the upper ribs last. And then exhale, pull your heels towards your bottom, grow through the crown of the head, coming to your second apnea in this position. Beautiful. Expanding the ribs and pressing your hands out, lengthening the back of the neck, keeping your lower spine neutral. Okay, 1 breath here, and then exhale, return to apnea. Good. Okay, final apnea in this position. Excellent hollowing of the belly. Okay, we'll stay in this position for the inhale. Then as you exhale, you're going to bring your arms into a wide position above your head. Here's our final posture. So on the inhale, reach long through your arms. On the exhale, pull your heels towards your bottom as you grow through the crown of the head. And here's the third breath. Reach long through the arms on the inhale. As you exhale, pull your heels towards your bottom and come into apnea. Good. Excellent. So reaching through your arms, pulling your heels, growing through the crown of the head, and expanding your rib cage all at the same time, holding apnea. Okay, we'll get 2 breaths now. There's the first breath. Exhale, grow. Good. Second breath, reach long through the arms. And then as you exhale, pull your heels towards your bottom. Keep your spine neutral. Grow through the crown of the head. Very good. And come to apnea here. Beautiful. Excellent. So just gently expanding your ribs and lengthening your spine and exhale. Good. Okay, 1 breath. Final breath. Exhale. Keep your waist really long. And then come to your final apnea here. Excellent. So just holding, expanding your ribs, lengthening your spine, reaching your arms, and pulling your heels all at the same time. Great. Awesome.
Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much, Angie.
Of course.
If you guys have any questions or anything, I would definitely hit up Angie. I'm going to be linking her Instagram and everything down below. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we will see you guys soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.